Hello everyone and welcome to the 2022 Employee Benefits presentation for National Trade Supply. Today we're going to go over a few things. First and foremost, open enrollment itself is from the 22nd of November through December 4th. So again, this is your only opportunity to make benefit elections this year. So unless you have a qualifying event, this will be the only time in 2022 that you'll be able to change your coverage. So it's super important that you pick what is going to work best for your family, starting on 1/1 of 22. And if you do have a qualifying event, just remember you only have 31 days after that qualifying event actually happens to submit that change in UKG or notify HR to help you make those election changes. So the next thing I want to talk about is just a few highlights of our benefit plans. So this is also found in our benefits guide. You can actually see all of this right there. I think this is maybe even on page, I think it's on page 3 technically, or page 2. So the biggest thing that I want to kind of really talk about first and foremost is we did introduce something brand new this year. It's the health reimbursement arrangement. It's very different than what most people have ever been introduced to, so I think it's really important that we spend quite a bit of time on that today. And that way, if you do have any other questions, you'll be able to reach out to me or we can set up some additional question and answer sessions to go over that. Some of the other things that we're going to talk about is just our dental, medical, and vision plans, our basic life and AD&D insurance, our voluntary options. That's both through Anthem and through Mutual of Omaha. I'm sorry, not Anthem, Aflac and Mutual of Omaha. We do offer company paid short-term disability insurance. And we also have a 401k plan with Match. So we're going to kind of walk through all of that. Just a quick reminder that those employees that would be eligible in our medical, dental, and vision program would be those working 30 plus hours per week. And so you just want to make sure that you are maintaining 30 plus hours a week in order to keep your benefits coverage. Children are eligible to remain on our medical, dental, and vision plans until the age of 26. And then a couple things also to note, we do still have our spousal coverage rules, which just generally means that if a spouse has access to other coverage at their current employer, they're not actually eligible to be on our insurance. And then not listed on this page, we do still have our non-tobacco user discount. As many of you guys, I think I have heard it called as our tobacco surcharge as well. So we'll talk about that a little bit later in the presentation too. So this year, just kind of some additional highlights. Our prescription drug plan, our medical insurance will renew with Anthem. Plan deductibles will actually remain the same, but we're going to kind of talk about a little bit more of that with the health reimbursement and kind of how that affects the plan deductibles. The good news about the plan deductible and the max out of pockets are the max out of pockets actually lowered this year. And so there's no more copays after you actually hit your deductible, which is really awesome. We're very excited about that piece. There are some incentive programs through Anthem again this year, so kind of talking about that. Anthem is still offering telemedicine, and our dental and vision benefits will still remain with Anthem this year as well. You're going to actually do electronic enrollment this year. Last year we used Paylocity. This year it's going to be in UKG, so I'll have some information on how to make that happen. And then another thing, we're going to still be using WEX HSA, or you have the choice of using your own personal HSA account. So just letting you guys have all of those details. Moving on here, we're going to again talk about that tobacco surcharge. So we do offer a discount for non-tobacco users. So you'll actually see a tobacco rate or you'll see a non-tobacco rate in our benefits guide. And that just simply states like if you do use a tobacco product, the cost of insurance is just a little bit higher. Versus getting that discount if you're a non-tobacco user. You will be signing an affidavit during that enrollment process. And just as a reminder, dishonesty could result in a loss of coverage and disciplinary action up to and including termination. So we just kind of touched on spousal coverage as well. So just again, if your spouse has the ability to pick up insurance with their current employer, they are needing to do that. They would not be eligible through our insurance plan. And this only applies to the medical and the prescription drug plan. And again, just like the tobacco one, you will be asked to sign an affidavit during the enrollment process. And again, dishonesty could result in a loss of coverage and disciplinary action up to and including termination. So as a quick overview, this is what our medical plans will look like for 2022. As you can see, it looks very, very similar to last year. The biggest difference is going to be in this piece right here, where you have no copay after deductible. So that's huge. The other thing to note is this max out of pocket. This actually did reduce. Last year's max out of pocket for our buy-up plan was actually $4,000, and for a family it was $8,000. So that reduced $2,000 here on the family side, or the embedded side, the family side, and then $1,000 here on the individual side. For a core plan, it actually was $7,000 versus $14,000. So quite a bit of difference there as well on that core piece. So many people have always asked, like, well, how does our plan actually stack up? Am I paying market price for this? It seems expensive, or it seems this, or it seems that. So I just kind of wanted to point out this is what our rates are. This is the non-tobacco user rate here. This is what an average plan looks like near us. So that would be similar in company size, and similar demographic, and similar in location. So this is what the average employee is paying for their benefits. So for a family plan, it looks like they're paying about $682 a payroll. So when you take that, I'm sorry, a month. I misspoke. This is a monthly rate. So when you take that and you multiply that savings out, so it's going to be this amount minus this amount, and then multiplied out by 12 months, you actually will save quite a bit by going with our core plan over what a benchmark plan would look like in our area. So you don't get quite as much savings on the buy-up plan as the core plan to, benchmark plans in the area. But as you can see here, even here, you're going to be saving a decent amount. The employee only is pretty much just a wash. So we do stack up pretty well for our coverage. Our coverage is really good, especially when you go back here and look at this no copay after the deductible piece. That's really big. That's not on a lot of plans these days. So also to note, preventative services are included on our plan. So I just kind of wanted to list out a few of the services that are available, but I'm going to be really honest. To get the best information out there, you're probably going to want to go to healthcare.gov and search preventative preventative care, because there are so many things that are now provided to you for free under preventative since the ACA came out, the Affordable Care Act. So here's just a few. So you have your women's health preventative services, your mammograms, your immunizations, your colonoscopies, and then at the top here, your routine preventative exams. This is your annual physical. This is your annual blood work. So very important to go ahead and get that taken care of. It really, keeps you kind of keeps a benchmark going for you, so you kind of know how you're doing, and it's preventative, and it's 100% covered. So this is what our prescription drug plan looks like for 2022. There's really no big changes here, except after you hit your deductible, then you pay $0. So this is a huge change. Last year we had copay. So like if for somebody that was in a tier 3, if you hit your deductible, you are still paying $75 a script for that tier 3 after you hit your deductible. A tier 2, you're hitting a $35 deductible. Again, this year you have a $0 deductible, so that's really awesome. I'm sorry, $0 after your deductible, which is really awesome. So one of the things that always comes up is, how do I get my prescription costs down? Because before you hit that deductible, you're going to be paying quite a bit of money in some of these cases for drugs. So one of the things we always recommend is either GoodRx or there's another one out there, and I'm spacing at the moment here, but GoodRx is a great one to check it out. So you basically just type in this bar here, what drug you're looking for. You're going to have your location, and it's going to come up with different areas, different pharmacies that have that drug available and what the cost would be. So like for this particular one, Lipitor here, the generic Lipitor, it looks like Meyer Pharmacy has it in this particular example for free as the cash price. Where Kroger, you could get it on a coupon for $8.90. So I kind of wanted to go to this right here. So if you end up using a coupon on your prescription drugs, they are not going to go towards your deductible. So it's really kind of up to you depending on what plan you choose and what your health use or your health insurance usage looks like. Some cases it's better to just to use this coupon because you know you're never going to get to your deductible unless something crazy happens. And other situations, you know, maybe this drug is $200 cash price. I doubt it since Meyer's offering it for free, but let's say Aldi said, hey, it's going to cost you $200. It might be worth it to go ahead and pay that $200 to help bring down your deductible, especially if you know other things are coming in, because if you have a $200 drug, depending on how often you're using it, you're going to hit that deductible a lot faster than if you're going to be able to get it for free or, you know, $10. So just kind of putting that out there that sometimes it is important to kind of think it out if the coupon is really the best option. But the really also great thing about this GoodRx program is, let's say you did want to use a coupon. You can literally clip that coupon right there by pushing that button. Oops. And it's going to show us a barcode for that pharmacist to scan right there at the pharmacy. So you don't have to do any additional work or go back or anything like that. Another way of saving money. So as many of you guys have kind of realized over the last several years here, though, that we've had HSA plans, it's very important to get the best care for the lowest price. And one of the ways of doing that is going to Anthem.com and using their cost estimator tool. So it's going to always put their preferred doctors towards the top of the list. And then they're going to also let you look at what procedures might cost in different areas or different hospitals and different things like that. So you know how to get that HSA money and that deductible money to work towards you and not just take whatever the doctor says. So if the doctor's like, hey, just go downstairs, get your lab work done, but you get on the cost estimator tool and you realize that the lab literally right down the street or right across the road is half the cost, but they're going to be able to provide you the exact same care and they're still ranked very well, it might be good for you to go across the street and spend half the money. So it's just one of those things where this is kind of gives a tool to put this into your hands. One of Anthem's biggest things right now is their Sydney app. Their Sydney app is essentially the way for you to put everything directly into your pocket that Anthem offers. So you can do a lot of different things on there. There's also going to be another program that we'll talk about a little bit where you can actually earn money for doing certain activities. That all takes place in the Sydney app. You're going to be able to answer questions and connect with different resources. You're going to be able to see a lot of your member services and just a bunch of things in the Sydney app. So highly recommend you download this app today. It's on the Apple Store and it's also on Google Play. Okay, so as promised, we finally got into the health reimbursement arrangement slide. So I took this information directly out of the benefits guide. So a lot of words on the screen. Definitely realize that. So really, there's one paragraph here that means the most. And then from there, we're going to kind of break that down. So the health reimbursement arrangement will reimburse you for the in-network covered medical and prescription costs you incur after you meet the first $3,000 of your in-network deductible on the buy-up medical plan, or after you meet the first $5,000 of your in-network deductible on the core plan. The health reimbursement arrangement will reimburse you for the next $3,200 in the in-network covered medical expenses on the buy-up plan, or $1,200 of the in-network covered medical expenses that you occur on the core plan. And then basically it's going to reach you up to a single deductible of $6,200. So before we go into this little example here, I made another slide here on this next page. I'm a visual person, so I'm hoping this helps others as well. So on the buy-up plan, you're basically getting an all-in deductible of about $6,200, which was stated at the end of that paragraph. The first $3,000 that you're used to paying on the buy-up plan, known as your deductible, is the amount that you will owe first. The second amount, still going into the $6,200, will be reimbursed by the company. And then on the core plan, that first $5,000 is solely your responsibility. And then this $1,200 is going to be reimbursed by the company. But again, for an all-in deductible of $6,200. And I need to note that that $6,200 is actually your true deductible. So if you log into Anthem and you're looking, you're still going to see this $6,200 because that is what your total all-in deductible is. The company this year had to make some really hard decisions. So medical costs have gone up across the board. Our estimated renewal this year was supposed to be in the $40,000 to $50,000, or I'm sorry, 40 to 50% range. We actually were able to get it down to a 21% increase, but that 21% increase on the plan that we had last year, the two plans that we had last year, the true $3,000 deductible and the true $5,000 deductible, made for an annual increase of over $300,000 for the company. It just wasn't something the company could take on at that large of an increase. So we got creative and a little bit strategic, and we were able to come up with a new strategy, not a new strategy, but a new strategy for us that still allowed us to provide the employees the $3,000 and the $5,000 deductible. But we were able to buy plans that are less expensive because essentially the higher the deductible, the less expensive a plan is. But what really worked out for everybody was that we were able to get plans that had 0 copays after the deductible was met, which was huge. So we actually got a better plan with lower max out of pockets for less money, but we got creative here by allowing us to introduce something called the health reimbursement arrangement, the HRA. So it allows us to take on this extra burden as a company, and it actually will cost us less money to do so. So then, to kind of go back here to this example, they're using the buy-up plan as an example, and you have incurred a claim for $6,200. So this could be a lot of different things, like maybe you had an accident or a surgery, or maybe you just had a lot of blood work and prescriptions, okay? So your total claims amount came to $6,200. And you have to pay, because of your deductible, the $3,000. But you still owe this $3,200. That's where this HRA is going to come in. And the way the HRA actually works is you do have to submit something over to LHD, which is our benefits broker. So back up here, it says that it's going to be administered by LHD Benefit Advisors. They are our broker, so it doesn't go through the HR department. And then you're going to submit them you're going to be submitted to them, and you're going to actually fax them over right here. This is the information here, and we're going to go to another slide, and it's going to talk about this again too. But they're going to then tell us, the HR team, how much to reimburse you, and you're going to get that deposited onto your check, just like a normal payroll, and you can select if you'd like that into checking or savings or however you would like that to go. And then you're going to actually then pay the provider. So this was the hospital, your doctor's office, or wherever it is, or if it's multiple invoices, you're still going to pay all those invoices yourself, but you're going to take your money for the $3,000, the company money for the $3,200, and then you're going to pay all of it to that provider. So let's skip ahead here because we already covered that. Okay, so here again is the process of how this works. So one, you have a medical treatment or claim that has now exceeded over $3,000. And then again, this is the buy-up example. The same thing would be true if this was the core. Instead of $3,000, this would say $5,000. So within a couple of weeks, sometimes a month, you're going to see those medical claims go onto your Anthem.com portal. And so you're going to then go pull that explanation of benefits, that EOB from Anthem.com, or you can even call customer service and you're going to obtain that EOB. So once you have that EOB in hand, that explanation of benefits, you're going to then fax that EOB over to LHD Benefit Advisors. If you don't have a fax, don't worry, you can come to HR and we can help you. And we can definitely keep that confidential. I know that's been something that's also been brought up. The HR team does not want any of your health information, which is one of the reasons why LHD Benefit Advisors actually will be taking on this information and not the HR team. So we can always try to work something else out too if the faxing doesn't seem to work. But there is a cover sheet that will be provided to you. I'll be sending that out closer to the first of the year. That way no one loses it. And then you'll fax that over. So then the last step is that National Trade Supply will issue a non-taxable reimbursement to your paycheck for the amount up to $3,200. So whatever that claim exceeded, that's how much we're going to pay you back up to that $6,200 total. So $3,000 in this case, $3,200. On this case, if it was the core plan, it'd be $5,000 here, and we could reimburse you up to that $1,200 here. So I hope everybody's still following along at this point. I know this is a lot of information, and I got some more for you. So before you totally tune out on me, there's a couple of things I really need to hit on, this being a big one. So it's kind of buried down here in my bullet points, but I need you to know that you cannot use your HSA in this bucket. So if you are going to be submitting over EOBs for reimbursement, you cannot first pay with your HSA account. Your health savings account, again, cannot be used on this $3,200 or this $1,100. And the reason is it's considered double dipping. So it's an IRS tax liability. Essentially, it's meaning that the HSA money, when it goes into your bank account, your HSA account, is not taxed. And then you're being reimbursed, again, tax-free by the HRA. So you're basically not paying tax twice on the same money, where that can't happen under the IRS rules. So again, you can use it all you want on your deductible amount, the amount that you owe, that $3,000, use that HSA all the way, or this $5,000, use that HSA all the way. But once you get into this bucket, do not use your HSA. So now, as long as I haven't lost the rest of you on that, we're going to go back through some of these. So again, it's tax-free. It's an IRS Section 120 or Section 105, and it's compliant to that. So you're not going to get any form sent to it at the year's end. So don't look for anything. It's not going to come. You can cash your HRA reimbursements or deposit them directly into your checking account as you see fit, because it's your money to pay the provider back. So if you make a payment arrangement with that provider, that's fine. So let's say you have a $2,000 claim. You've spread that claim over the next 3 years. Totally fine. You can pay it off with that HRA money, or you can invest that HRA money, or you can pay another bill. But just know that you will be on the hook for that up to $6,200 that will be in your name. So however you decide to pay that with the help of the HRA, that's up to you. But there are no requirements like the HSA to keep that money separate or only use it on certain expenses. The HRA money can be used however you like, as long as you know that you still are responsible for that medical bill no matter what. And then to submit a pharmacy claim, it's just a little bit different than an EOB. You still have to find something similar to an EOB, but you're actually looking for the benefit plan balances, and that's going to be in their RX system under prescriptions and then claim balances, and then you'll print that sheet off to submit over for the reimbursement for prescription. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the HRA. Let's talk about the HSA, so the Health Savings Account. The Health Savings Account is a special tax advantage account that can be used for only qualified medical expenses. So that's dental, vision, and medical. You can also use it for pharmacy, and it's your money in your separate account. So there's no use it or lose it provisions like an FSA or some of the other things that are out there for medical. It'll roll over year after year. And then once you turn age 65, if you still have money in that account, you can use it as retirement income, and the tax penalties change. So you can then use it for non-medical expenses after you turn age 65 or older. Before then, it very much has to be used for qualified medical expenses. There are some rules that the IRS sets every year on how much you can contribute. So for 2022, the max is $3,650 for an individual plan, or $7,300 for a dependent coverage plan. So your employee plus spouse, your employee plus children, and your family plans all fit under this. If you are a single employee only plan holder, this is the amount that you can contribute per year. If you're over the age of 55, you can add an extra $1,000 to this amount here for catch-up contributions. But at the age of 65, you have to stop contributions because it becomes a retirement account. But the great news is you can still be on a high deductible health plan that we offer. You just can't use the HRA side of it. Or I'm sorry, the HSA side of it. The HRA side all day long. HSA, not so much. Okay, so I think I kind of hit on this a little bit earlier in the presentation, the Anthem Get Strong program. So this is one of the programs that you're going to find in that Sydney Health app where you will get money for doing certain actions. So if you get an annual eye exam, you get $25. If you get a mammogram, you get $25. Flu shot, $20. If you track your steps, you'll get $60. So they will send this out. I think it's once a year they send out this rewards, and you can earn up to $200 for taking a part of this. So just log into that Sydney app, get registered, and you'll start earning money. This is another thing that Anthem uses. I believe this is also in the Sydney app, but it's their Live Health Online, and you're actually able to see a provider anywhere you are. So if you're on vacation, let's say you go to Florida, this will be available to you still. It's very easy to use, and it is much cheaper than going to an urgent care or something like that. So if it's something that you feel like you can do over telehealth, definitely recommend. It's a pretty good experience, and we've had a lot of people that have had good success with it. So kind of as a recap, as we're getting out of the medical side of things, here are some ways to save money. So one of the ways is to fully fund your HSA if possible. Also taking part in those wellness benefits and those physical exams. They're free. Why not? Anytime you can use tier 1 medications, that's going to save you more money getting to that deductible. Generally, tier 1 medications are pretty inexpensive. You can use the $4 retail drug programs, looking on that GoodRx, like on that example where Meyer had a $0 prescription, kind of using those things. Minute clinics and urgent cares are way less expensive than ERs. So the more you can stay out of an ER, the better. Use those ERs though for those big events. If you can use independent labs and x-ray places versus the hospital, again, if your doctor says, hey, just go downstairs to use that lab, log on to Anthem and see where it makes the most sense to spend your money. And then take advantage of the 24-hour nurse line. So again, this telehealth situation here is going to save you money. Okay, so now finally moving on from medical, we have our dental plan. So great news, again this year, we have no plan changes at all to our dental plan. The only thing to note is our rates did increase 5% from last year. So you're going to kind of see some pennies on the dollar movement here on some of these employee-only plans and a pretty small amounts here as you go up. So only a 5% increase there. Our vision plan, again, 0 changes for 2022, the exact same plan that we had last year. Here are some quick things that the plan covers, and there were absolutely no rate changes this year. So really good to know there. Short-term disability, also there were no changes to short-term disability. The company is still paying for that this year. It's still providing 60% of your basic weekly earnings up to $1,500. We still have an 8-day elimination period, so waiting those 8 days before your benefits begin. The duration of short-term disability is the 12 weeks. And there is some pre-existing condition limitations that do apply, but that's pretty typical. So it's that 3 and 6 month. If you feel like that may be something that you would fit into, contact us here in HR, and we are happy to talk you through that and see if you're still able to submit paperwork for that. Voluntary long-term disability, same as last year, still 60% of your monthly earnings up to $4,000. It will begin on the 90th day. So this is really great. We've had some situations where this has been very great for some of our employees. Maybe there's been a back injury or shoulder injury or just things that are kind of outside your control. When you've run out of short-term disability, the next step is long-term disability. But if you do not elect in long-term disability, after that 12th week on short-term then drops off and there's no income support. So this is going to be that income support after that 90th day, after short-term disability dries up. And you're going to be able to find those rates in UKG during enrollment. Feel like we already covered that. Okay, let's see here. So the company actually provides basic life and basic AD&D coverage. So there's a $25,000 benefit on each side. And this is just some general information. All of this information is also listed in the benefits guide. So the great news here is that the accidental death and dismemberment, this dismemberment piece means the loss or use of a body part or functions. So like limbs, speech, eyesight, hearing, these are all covered under this particular policy. Where this basic life is for death, it has a death benefit. And also looking here, beneficiaries. So make sure that your contacts in UKG have been updated, so we know where to send that money in the worst case scenario. So voluntary life, there's a little bit of information here. This is 100% employee paid, so you will be able to select what you'd like to have in UKG. There is a $10,000 benefit increment. It can go up to 5 times the earning, up to $300,000. So definitely looking at, there is a spouse and a child benefit as well. So looking in UKG for those rates. And if you have any particular questions, let me know. This plan is through Mutual of Omaha. So Aflac also has voluntary coverage. And so we've partnered with Aflac for the last several years now. And they offer 4 main plans to us: accident, critical care, hospital, and cancer. Cool thing about Aflac is it's portable. So if you do leave our company, you can take this plan with you. these plan prices do not change once you have signed up with them. It does not increase with age or any of the claims that are filed. They have offers for pre-tax and post-tax deductions. So kind of depending on what you're looking for. And the cash benefit is going to be paid directly to you for your everyday living expenses. So you don't have to actually pay a provider, or it doesn't go directly to your provider. It actually goes to you. So for Aflac, it's a little different than all of our other plans. This does not take place in UKG. If you would like to pursue Aflac or get any questions answered, you do need to reach out to our agent. His name is Jay. And his number's listed there and his email's listed there as well, but it's also in the benefits guide. So towards the back of the benefits guide, you're going to actually see this information. Contact him directly. During open enrollment, he generally will hold either a Teams meeting or he will take emails and then set something up directly with you. He's very, very nice, and Aflac has been pretty good to us. We've had a few employees actually utilize it, and they've had pretty great experiences with it. Okay, so we talked about the tobacco surcharge earlier in the presentation. Here is the tobacco cessation program. So 1-800-QUIT-NOW is Indiana's tobacco-free hotline. You get 4 free calls, and then if you're pregnant, you get 10 free calls. The website's also listed here too. They have over-the-counter nicotine replacement, and there's different programs that are actually offered through Anthem as well. By joining a program, you are actually able to get out of the tobacco surcharge. So if you are actively participating in this program, we can reduce your rates. So that is something to note, but you do have to actively be participating. Okay, so the Employee Assistance Program, this is another really great thing that we've offered for the last several years, and it's something that a lot of our employees have utilized. It's really awesome because there's a lot of different things that the Employee Assistant Program can help with. I think everybody always thinks mental health when they think of the EAP, but there's a lot of different things too. So they can actually help with elder care assistance. A lot of people have aging parents and they need to know, what should we do? Like, what's the process? Is there certain facilities I should be contacting? They can help with that. Substance abuse, financial services, legal help. Are you going through a divorce, or do you just, is someone suing you? You can reach out and they can help you with that. Life and work transitions, healthy lifestyles, family relationships, emotional well-being. So there's a lot of things that they can help you with. You are able to have free services. So I think there are, I believe it says it in the employee guide as well, but I believe you get 4 free services with a mental health coach, I believe. I'm going to be misquoted, I know, but you do have free services that are involved with that. So I can get you more detailed information as well if that is something that you need. Here's how you can call and reach out to them. Here's also their website. This is a product through Mutual of Omaha. A Verizon wireless discount. So here is something that several people also take place or utilize. It is, I believe, 18% off of monthly plans. And then there's some discounts for accessories. Most of the time, phones are not included, but it's pretty awesome. Please refer to the benefits guide on how to actually sign up. If you are a Verizon Wireless customer or if you'd like to be one, there is some resources in the benefits guide for you. So 2 other things that we offer a gym membership reimbursement, and we offer a AAA membership reimbursement. So for our gym membership, we will reimburse 50% of the eligible fees up to $40 per month for an individual membership. So if you're on a family plan, talk to your gym, have them tell you how much how much an individual plan will cost you, and we will reimburse you that 50% of that up to $40 a month. For the AAA membership, we're going to reimburse you 50% of the eligible fees. So the annual fee plus the enrollment fee for any AAA plus membership. So there are, I think, about 3 or 4 different types of AAA memberships. We will do 50% on any of them. A lot of people, I think, have taken advantage of that middle middle of the road one. The bottom one doesn't give you very many miles of towing. So we like this AAA Plus membership the best. So definitely take advantage if that is something of interest to you. So the 401k plan, this is offered to anybody that's eligible for benefits. So once you've hit that first of the month following your first 30 days of employment, or first of the month following the month of employment. So if you got hired on the 15th, you'll be eligible on the first of the following month. If you get hired on the first of the month, you will have to wait until the first of the following month. But if you get hired on the 31st of the month, you get benefits the next day. So our 401k plan works the same exact way. The company will match up to 3%, the company will match 100% on the first 3% that you contribute. After that, the company will match 50% on the next two, with a total contribution match of 4% when you contribute 5%. So that's a total of 9% contribution. The IRS maximum on 401k did go up in 2022. So now you have up to $20,500 that you can contribute. And then there's an extra catch-up amount as well, that's $6,500. Okay, so lastly, as we're closing out this presentation, here's actually how to enroll in benefits in UKG. So UKG always refers to this as the hamburger. It's your little menu bar at the top of the left-hand side of your screen, and once you log into UKG. Also, you can do this from your app as well. Same thing though. So go to the menu, go to this individual person, this My Info. Scroll down to My Benefits and then click Enrollment. This open enrollment box will light up. If you're a new hire, it'll say New Hire. If you have a life change, you're going to click here. But there's a little Start button right at the bottom of this that you're going to click, and then it'll start that process directly for you. So please reach out to me if you have any questions. I'm going to stop this presentation now. So if there are any questions, we can take this offline. But that is our benefits presentation, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you, everyone.